I had been playing the clarinet since my school days. When I entered high school, my parents bought me one that cost just over 200,000 yen at the time. At university, when I joined an amateur orchestra, I needed another. Together, those clarinets and I built up a history of our own. But I knew I would ever again play them, so I decided to let them go. My old teacher was the one who bought them from me. He was also the one who had once guided me, years ago. More than once, he asked, "Are you truly never going to play again?" 2 years ago, I sold them. With the money, I bought a Mac Mini, then the latest model with its memory upgraded to 16 gigabytes. I liked it for a time, but lately it had been left unused as well. I had liked it well enough, but it had seen little use of late, so I chose to let it go. What I longed for was not another short-lived gadget, but a trace of the path I had once walked in music.
Your attention, please. The train bound for Ueno and Tokyo will soon arrive on track number 7. For your safety, please stand behind the yellow line.
Even though it looks like a giant microwave, of course, nothing gets heated inside. The ride is as comfortable as ever. I had taken spot right behind the driver's seat to film the view when 3 foreign tourists appeared behind me, holding up their phones to do the same. For me, this sight is always within reach. However, for them, perhaps it was their last.
The next station is Ueno. JY5. The doors on the left side will open. Please change your floor. The Shinkansen, the Utsunomiya Line, the Takasaki Line, the Joho Line, the Ueno Tokyo Line, the Ginza Subway Line, and the TBS Subway Line.
I took my video long enough. I stepped aside, yielding the special seat, and turned my lens to the view through the door's window. When I arrived at Akihabara station, the platform was quieter than I expected. The last time I came here, it felt full of foreign visitors. Now I wonder, where have they all gone? But I had no time to dwell on that. My destination was clear, Jampara D-style Akihabara, the shop I had chosen from the start.
トにつかまり、近所線の内側にお乗りください。
If this were Shinjuku or Ikebukuro, I would know how to swim freely in the sea of the city. But Akihabara was a sea unknown to me. My only lifeline was a small map glowing inside my light. This place once had a small basketball court where young people would gather to play. Sometimes you could even spot skaters practicing their tricks. But all of that vanished with redevelopment. Before that, this whole area had been a produce market. And even further back, Akihabara grew as a post-war black market, which later became an electric town. When I was a university student, I often came here not for radio parts, not for new computers, but to hunt for treasures at Ishmael Denki's classical folk hall, where the rare CDs waited, impossible to find anywhere else. After leaving graduate school and returning to Tokyo, I often found myself back in Akihabara. I bought keyboards with the old rainbow Apple logo and the strange gadgets I barely understood. This city was a box crammed full of things unknown to me. It was here that I bought my second Mac. I remember coming by car with my family, loading the huge box and taking it home like a treasure. For many today, Akihabara is simply an otaku mecca. But for me, it was an island of music and gadgets, a hidden treasure island. My destination came into view. There, I was about to entrust the remnants of my clarinet memories. My step grew a little heavier. Now it is time to let my Macmany go, to send her into foster care. The parting is lighter than with my clarinet, yet if I hesitate, her value only falls. Dwelling in sentiment would help neither of us. Perhaps this farewell comes too late, but I will get it nonetheless. The appraisal began with the serial number and model, followed by the careful search for scratches. They gave me a rough estimate, then moved on to a full check of the system. From here, I was told the process would take about 2 hours. I could have found something in the meantime, but what I wanted most was simply to sit down and rest. And so another cafe refugee was born in the city. The base estimate for my Mac Mini was 35,000 yen. A small scratch brought the price down, and if I poured on, the shop would pay me 32,200. Neither high nor low, it was about what I had expected. But it fell short of the handbag I had hoped to buy. So I found myself a bit disappointed. Should I settle for something within that range, or add a little more and bring home the bag I truly wanted? Would I preserve the purity of my memory, or invest in an object that could carry those memories forward? Either way, I had only a few days to decide. Before the residue of memory was lost to groceries and daily trifles. It was almost time for the appraisal, so I left the cafe and walked through Akihabara with my camera. The station has several exits: Electric Town, Central, and Showa-dori. For tourists, I would say the Electric Town exit is the right choice. Once, the word Electric Town fit perfectly. Now I'm not sure it does. Japan is full of streets dedicated to specialties. Jinbocho lined with bookshops. Ochanom is famous for its musical instrument stores and also for sporting goods. Both are just a short walk from here. And then there is Kappabashi near Asakusa, when you can find every kitchen tool imaginable. Or Nippori, known for its rows of fabric shops. If you are visiting Tokyo, wandering through these specialized districts can be just as rewarding as any major landmark. I walked toward the opposite side of the station, away from the Electric Town exit. Everyone around me seemed to move within purpose, like someone released back into the river, swimming upstream. Then I noticed 3 foreign visitors standing still with the guidebook open. "Are you looking for somewhere in particular?" I asked. They replied, "We don't know." The city was too large, they said. They wanted anime goods, but didn't know where to find them. Amid the steady flow of salmon, here were fish stranded on a sandbank. I told them, if you head toward the Electric Town exit, you might find somewhere interesting shops. And with that, I turned back toward the store. I returned to the shop. The time had come to exchange the Mac Mini for cash. I would never see her again. From now on, I would only meet her in another form and money in my hand. For me, this was the final ritual. Soon she would pass into someone else's hands Her memories overwritten and a new life would begin. Thank you, Macmini, for everything. With the cash in my wallet, my hands and heart felt lighter. And yet, the fact remained, the money still wasn't enough for the bag I wanted. It wasn't simply a matter of adding the difference out of pocket. The weight of that choice pressed on me. Was I willing to spend more, or was that bag even the right one for me? I still couldn't decide. So I chose to walk from Akihabara to Kanda station, just 6 minutes on foot. It wasn't long enough to reach an answer, but perhaps long enough to linger a little in my memories with the Mac Mini. I knew I wouldn't find the answer before reaching Kanda station. No one could decide the fate of 32,210 once a Mac Mini in a 6-minute walk. I have to admit, part of my wish was shallow. I simply wanted a bag I could carry with me on my coming trip to Sapporo. And yet, I wanted the purchase to feel like a continuation of memory, not a break in it. The walk from Akihabara to Kanda isn't far, but it's remarkable how the scenery shifts. From the neon glow of the electric and anime, suddenly into the straight-lined order of the business district. This, to me, is the most fascinating thing about Tokyo. How just a few steps can carry you seamlessly into another world. Another thing I love about Tokyo is the countless narrow alleyways. They appear suddenly, squeezed between larger streets like hidden passages. And of course, being someone who was always loved back streets, I couldn't resist stepping inside. In the end, I couldn't decide that day how to cover the shortfall for the bag. Later, when I told my husband about it, he said, "It's our 10th wedding anniversary. I'll make up the difference for you." And so, I was able to buy the bag I had wanted. It became something more than just a purchase, a bag that holds both me, the memory of my clarinet, and the memory of our 10 years together. last, I arrived at Kanda station. I planned to rest at the cafe for a while before heading home. The coffee I drank, savoring the memories of my Mac Mini, tasted just a little more bitter than usual. That's it all for today. I usually explore places in Japan that tourists often miss, with stories from local history and culture. If that sounds fun, subscribe and join me next time. またね